the other side.
Okay. Good afternoon. My name's Narelle Walk-On. I'm coming to you from Mackay, Queensland, Australia, and I want to welcome each and every one of you for popping onto my YouTube live, Carnivore Aussie style. As you may have seen, some of you are new here. Please subscribe, like, share, and just sit back and have a listen, because today we're sharing some fab food recipes. So, like I said, I'm coming to you from Australia, and I'm sharing a part of my journey about starting carnivore way of eating. I started back approximately just over 8 months ago. Didn't want to lose any weight, just thought, hey, I'm going to try this for my health because I am a type 2 diabetic. So I thought this is the way of getting it out there, recording a part of my story so that it may help you on your carnivore journey, or whether you decide to actually jump into it or start with ketovore. But I'm here to share a part of my story. So one of the things I found, one of the things I found was that for the first 2 weeks, I was a little bit flustered, like, what should I eat? What will I do? Because it's completely different to starting, say, another diet, even though I hadn't done dieting for a very long time, because of the fact that once you start, it's, you do it for a few months and then all of a sudden you're not doing it anymore because it just doesn't fit into the way or your lifestyle. So this was a lifestyle change decision for me. And I wanted to make sure that I had all my research up to date, that I had looked at it, everything that I could my open heart surgery, which I had back in 2015 and had a triple bypass. And the other was for my diabetes. Little did I know that it was really going to change, the way I sort of look at eating, and the way that this was going to be something that I would take on, not necessarily lifetime as in strict, but certainly for my body to repair itself, for my body to be able to deal with those things that had happened to it. Trauma, obviously, some inflammation, things like that. So I wanted to come on and share not only my story, my journey, because I have lost 10 kilos over now. And I'm, like I said, I wasn't doing it to lose weight, but obviously my body needed to shed some. So I love who I am. I love my body for what it's given me over the years. But it was to help with my diabetes. And yes, it is a slower process in the sense, but I can tell you, I just didn't want that needle controlling my life going into older age and have to carry it everywhere with me, have to worry about my insulin levels and things like that. So yes, I went strict carnivore straight up, and I have been loving it. But like I said, in that first 2 weeks, I just found that I was a little bit flustered as into what should I be eating, what can I have, what can't I have. You will find on my on my Facebook page, I do have a Carnivore Aussie style Facebook page. Would love for you to jump over there, have a look around, see if there's anything that you like there. We're trying to build a community, and that's what we'd like to do there. So as you can see, this is a Carnivore Aussie style, some nice piece of meat there. And one of the things that you'll find is that I have shared some stuff. Yes, I'm not right into it in sharing yet. But like I said, I'm building a community where we can share, whether you're from Australia or anywhere all over the world. You can jump on here, have a look around, see what I'm doing, add something if you want to ask a question and things like that. I have to declare I'm not a doctor, nutritionist, or anything like that that is able to share that information about, medical information. But I do a lot of research, and one of the people that I did research was Anthony Chaffee, but also Dr. Philip Avadia. Philip Avadia is a heart thoracic surgeon from the US, and I did a lot of research around that because I had open heart surgery back in 2015. I had a triple bypass, so I wanted to make sure that that was going to be suitable for me, just as you should do, and look at it for yourself. Here's some of my food. You can see I occasionally have cheese that is halloumi on the left-hand side, scrambled eggs, bacon, eggs, fried eggs. Everything's fried in butter or ghee. I really do want to try some tallow soon, just to see what the taste is like, I suppose, whether it's different. But I do love my butter. I'm a dairy farmer's daughter, so nothing like the real stuff, right? Now, we don't have milk on this way of eating. I'm only having cream. I do have my couple of coffees throughout the day, and I do have cream in there. There's no sugar, taken away all the high carb foods. So when you're starting, you start with those small steps. You stay patient. Listen to your body. This is a change. So um, I always say, just be careful of, what you're doing. Research, research, research. I can't say enough about that. So the next one is the video with Dr. Philip Avadia. Like I said, very, very amazing interview there. And it really does it gave me the information I needed for what I was doing, what I've been through in my body with my heart surgery. So it is something worth listening to. There are many, many YouTube videos, and I tried to bring some here that are relatable for myself and what I've been through. But there are also a lot of videos. If you put in or research, Dr. Ken Berry, and any of the illnesses you might have, it'll come up with a video suitable for you, and you can do your own research there. So um, now, like I said, I wanted to share a recipe with you today. So, in those first couple of weeks, and maybe even into the first month, as a mum, my kids are now grown up, but I've been cooking all of my life, 3 meals a day, or at least that main evening meal. So, it was sort of taking away what I had been used to doing, but not necessarily what I was about to do now, because, the thing is, it's a little bit different. So, when you're looking at carnivore, strict carnivore, there are a few different ways of looking at carnivore. There is dirty carnivore, which I didn't want to do. If I was going to try something, I wanted to go whole in, have a look at this. You can start with ketovore, and I do suggest that if it's something that is quite a change for your eating. I was already only eating 2 meals a day anyway. Intermittent fasting, look that up. It's amazing how that can help you. And I only eat 1 meal a day now, unless my body tells me differently. And sometimes I will have a smaller meal earlier in the day if I'm going to sort of be struggling to eat by a certain time at night. And my body growls at me. But remember, growling doesn't always mean hunger. It can sometimes mean that you're just thirsty. So in our hot weather that we're having right now, right in the middle of summer, it is important to keep up your water intake, make it good water, and also look at your electrolytes, which is another one that I think, have a link for that, but it will be coming if I haven't. Now, I'm just going to run through this recipe. If you've got a pen and paper, write it down, but you will find it on my Facebook Carnivore Aussie style page if you just scroll down a little bit. So, like I said, I wanted something that I could just munch on, something that gave me a little bit of a fill to just in that in between time, something a little bit different. So it is a muffin recipe, and it's like a savory, obviously, because I'm no longer sweets. I'm no longer into any flours or any high carbs, starchy foods, no vegetables, no fruits. And one of the things was no rice, no pastas, that sort of thing. And a lot of people think that they have their throats cut, but it really is not like that at all, because what you're eating is high protein, high fat, and you become very satiated, which means that you become full, but it lasts for hours and hours and hours, rather than thinking, oh, I just had that meal and I'm still hungry. A lot of that is sugar craving. So take a look at that. Now, this recipe is, and they were amazing. They were 10 eggs, and it does seem like a lot of eggs, like, but it does make quite a few. And I freeze them and then bring them out at a later date, because I don't want to eat them all at once. Some people have said to me, oh my gosh, how did you actually have any to freeze? Because they do look quite divine, and they were. So 10 eggs, 1 cup of grated cheese. Now, you use the cheese, whatever you have, whatever you like. Most of the time I use a tasty cheese, as hard as possible. Look, I'm not right into very hard cheeses, and I think a little bit of cheese every now and again is okay on this way of eating. So now for me, what I do is, if I've had leftover meat, whether it could be silverside, it could be leftover roast pork, it could be anything that you have left over in your fridge that you may have had from the night before. Even finely cut up steak would be fine in this. Bacon, added in some bacon. So 1 to 2 rashers of bacon. Or all I did was use what was in the fridge, to tell you the truth. Anything a little bit left over. So I cut up the bacon fairly fine, because remember, these are just individual muffins. And some really good salt. Now, I don't add the salt into the mixture. I add it afterwards, only because I've never really been a big salt, cook with salt, even when I was doing veggies a long time ago. So have a look at salt. I use a really good one called Salt of the Earth. It is a really good quality. You can get it in the finer, which I like to have. I just pinch it out of a container and sprinkle it over my food. But you can get a coarse one as well that you could use in a grinder if needed. So good quality salt. And like I said, anything left over, but cut it small. These are individual muffins if you have a muffin tin. So I just put it all together, creamed it all together, make sure your eggs are mixed well. And if you need to add your salt, you can then, or, some people are still using a little bit of pepper. I occasionally have pepper, but it's not necessarily recommended on this way of eating, but definitely a good salt. And sometimes I found too that if you're if you're going throughout your day and you're feeling a little bit, put a little bit of the Celtic salt on your tongue and let it dissolve on your tongue. Then have a nice drink of water, because what the Celtic salt does, from my information, is that it absorbs, like it allows the water to get where it needs to go, and it gives you that hit of electrolytes in that sense. So like I said, I've done my research for my body. Today I'm just sharing a recipe with you, because sometimes we don't know where to go or what to do. Now, this hasn't got any flour, it hasn't got any vegetables. I did make a quantity of it for my neighbors, elderly neighbors, and my son, and I did add in a little bit of onion and stuff like that for them. However, they would have been happy with it just the way that it was. Sometimes old habits die hard, because, as my kids would say, Mum's always putting onion in everything. Anyway, so that's the recipe today. Have a look at that on my Facebook page, Carnivore Aussie Style. Give us a like, thumbs up. Leave a message if you want to. And like I said, this is a part of my story. The other thing is, and I will bring more to you as we go, keep going on. But the one thing that I do want to share is one of the things that I miss. Maybe it's a female thing, I'm not quite sure, but I miss the crunch of food. Now, remember, you're eating steak, eggs, some chicken. I don't eat a lot of chicken, fish, seafood. I do like that. So there's times when you might think, oh my gosh, it's just the crunch of something. So a lot of you fruit eaters and things like that, you might miss that crunch. I wasn't a big fruit eater, but I certainly missed the crunch. So what I found was, I went to the butcher and I just bought the pork fat, like the crackle, to make crackle. And I used to cook my own, and then I did get on to buying some, which I wasn't really happy with, but it was still okay. It's just that when you do it yourself, you know what's going into it, you know how you're cooking it, you know what, how fresh it is or things like that. So it tastes a lot different when you do your own. So have a look at maybe going to your butcher and looking for those types of things where it's just the fat, so just for the crackle. They do have it available, but with more and more people now going on carnivore way of eating, they've started to put their prices up a little bit. But we have a great butcher and that we go to, and one of the other things is sausages, which is a big Aussie thing, the old good old Barbie sausage and things like that. We have a butcher who doesn't use any fillers. So that's another good thing to start asking about, is what is in those types of things, okay? We try and stay away from any processed meats, hams, those sort of things, unless you're doing it yourself at home. But yeah, stay away from the processed side of things, because they do add in additives, and most of the time you will find that it contains some part sugar. So stay away from that. In the beginning, look, I have a piece of salami every now and again. Is it good for me? Not really. It's not bad for me though. And you'll find that if you start researching, some of the doctors will tell you that as long as you're eating meat and going into that way of eating, rather than filling yourself with carbs and sugars, you'll find that your body will change. And also you start to eat differently. You start to crave different things. I know when my body needs red meat because it tells me so. Do I have it every day? No, I don't. But I do have a form of meat, whether it be fish. I had some beautiful barramundi the other day. Absolutely love my fish. And it's just cooked in butter. That's it. Sometimes I have an egg with it. Sometimes I don't. I just have a nice big piece of fish and it's beautiful. So that's my little bit of sharing today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure to, if you're new to my YouTube channel, please make sure to subscribe, like, share, and please ring the bell for notifications for when I go live. Now, again, just quickly, I have interviewed a few people here on my YouTube. Larry Holt was one of them just recently, and also Ian Gundrill. I also have been a part of a carnivore lifestyle channel over in the US with the Lion's Den, and that was really interesting. Two guys that are friends of mine with it in a different business, sharing their journey on the carnivore way of eating. So there are lots and lots of information out there. Always ask questions, because some of the information that's given can be just somebody, that's not necessarily has your best interest at heart. What I say is, this is my journey. Research and do your own. Look up anything on YouTube with Dr. Ken Berry and type in, say you have type 2 diabetes or inflammation or irritable bowel or some sort of problem that you have, and you'll find that there's a video there for it. Like I said, I'll bring you the best information that I can about my journey. I am not a medical doctor, nor am I a natural therapist or any of those. I come to you from my heart. Narelle Walk-On, Mackay, Queensland, Australia. I look forward to seeing you again next week with something else, whether it's a recipe or a topic that I might come across. But please take care. Remember, this is about taking the responsibility for your own health, which we all need to do, and look into the carnivore way of eating as a lifestyle change for yourself. Blessings and love to you. Thank you. And I shall see you again next week. Bye for now.